Good afternoon, a very warm welcome to the JJB Stadium today. Blustery conditions greet the two sides here in this nationwide league. Been two clash. Wigan Athletic, of course, on the back of two splendid victories. A 4-0 home success here last Saturday against the informed Cardiff City side. 4 goals from similar sources from the left boot of Peter Kennedy. And they followed that up with a splendid 3-1 success at Game Meadow, Notts County. 3-1 with Messrs Teal, McCulloch and Dalglish all getting on the score sheet that evening. To be fair, the Latics made hard work of it against a eventual 9-man Notts County, but in the end they came away with all 3 points. Meantime, on that night, Wycombe Wanderers were suffering one of their heaviest home defeats in years. A 4-1 home defeat against a mid-table Blackpool side, which really hampered the Wycombe Wanderers' playoff aspirations. They, of course, came into that game on the back of some decent form, and their boss, Laurie Sanchez, is looking for some 8 victories from the last 13 remaining games to get them into them playoff spots. A tall order, and if they can collect their 3 points here this afternoon, it will in fact be the first time that Wycombe Wanderers have ever come back from Wigan with all 3 points. They, of course, have their course hampered somewhat by the lengthy injury due to Andy Rammell, who, of course, as all the Wycombe fans know, is out for the rest of the season. So we'll quickly run through the two sides. We'll start with our visitors from Adams Park, who have Martin Taylor, the ever-present between the sticks. He wears number 1. At 3 is Chris Vinicombe. Number 10 is Sean Devine. He, of course, will be playing up front. And number 2 is David Tuttle. Wearing 17 is Mark Rogers, who, of course, was just back from international duty, alongside our very own Jason DeVos for Canada. At 21 is Darren Curry. 22 is Danny Bullman, and number 15 is Jermaine McSmorran. 28 is Michael Simpson. 29 Daniel Sender, and number 30 is Steve Brown. On to the Wycombe subs. At number 8 is the long-serving Keith Ryan. Number 9 is Andrew Bird. 11 Paul Elmblom. 14 Stuart Roberts. 25 Martin Lee. On to the Latics quickly. It's John Filan in goal. 2 Jason DeVos, who scored 2 goals last weekend. 8 is Ian Nolan, back into the first team action. Of course, Gary Croft has gone back since his month spell. 23, Matt Jackson, back into first team action following his 4 or 5 week layout. 6, Arian Dezu, again a goal scorer last Saturday. 31, Paul Dalglish. 11, Lee McCulloch. 17, Gary Teal. 20, Jeb Brannan. 21, Tony Dean and Peter Kennedy at 22. The Wigan substitutes are number 26, Ian Johnson. Ian Kilford at 18. Ian Pendlebury into the first team squad once more. 32. 10 is Lee Ashcroft, who we've not seen for quite some time, and 15 is Paul Mitchell. As the game has already got underway, Wycombe Wanderers kicked off, and they're playing in their change strip of the all orange. John Farr had to be wary of that. It was crossed in from this near side by Danny Sender. It did take a deflection. Here's Dalglish. Brannan's in acres of room through the centre if it could have been passed to him. Dinning has to check. DeVos, he's looking for Kennedy on this near side, the ball swirling in the wind. In the end, the number 29, Danny Sender, did well to head it out of play. Ian Nolan looking for movement, finds it in the shape of Lee McCulloch, who controls it well, tried to slip it round the back for Teal. Taylor was a little hesitant, and in the end it was hacked clear. Kennedy has to check, no support at the moment. Utilises Jason DeVos. He in turn finds Matt Jackson, who's playing at right back this afternoon for the Latics. Here's Paul Dalglish looking for Teal. He may make it to Tommy Dinning. Dinning shoots towards goal, a good effort. In the end, Martin Taylor isn't really tested. The first shot in anger from Tommy Dinning. Left foot always going well past the post. Paul Jewell still persisting with both Gary Teal and Lee McCulloch up front. They, of course, combined so effectively in midweek up at Notts County. And both got on the score sheet as well. And Steve Brown getting a header in. Brannan's touch, looking for McCulloch. McCulloch trying to find Teal. And they may have won it back. Mark Rogers in the tackle. Devine's touch. D'Azou picks out Peter Kennedy on the near side. A little bit of space for Kennedy. He slips it forward looking for McCulloch. It's not the best of balls. And Sender puts it out for a throw-in. Kennedy anxious to get on with the game. Just throws it quickly down the line to Gary Teal. Teal rolls it back to Ian Nolan. Ian Nolan can now run at the Wycombe defence. It's opened up for him. Here's McCulloch. McCulloch with the turn. In the end, he just couldn't manufacture the half yard of space that he needed. But Wigan have won it back with Jackson. Here is Paul Dalgleish. Dalgleish looking to drill it to this near side. Interception from Rogers. Dinning's header. And that will find its way to Kennedy. Kennedy went in bravely with Curry. Sender clears. Very blustery conditions inside the JJB this afternoon. Will make it difficult for both sides to play the football they enjoy. Wycombe Wanderers certainly one of the footballing sides in the second division, under the leadership, of course, of Laurie Sanchez. But it's Wigan Athletic at the moment who are calling the shots. Here's Nolan looking for Teal. Teal just judged offside. The referee's allowed a good advantage. Here's Darren Curry. Curry has to check, and in the end, he comes all the way back to his goalkeeper, Martin Taylor. This is Ian Nolan. Short ball to Kennedy. Now there's some space for Kennedy. Encouraged to move forward with it. And he looks to pick up pace, running at the heart of the Wycombe defence. Played short to McCulloch. McCulloch out to Brannan. Brannan feeds it out to Dalgleish. Played a little bit behind him, but the momentum of the attack is still going. Jackson. It'll fall short to Dalgleish. Dalgleish tries to put it in, looking for Teal. It's scrambled away by Danny Bullman. Dinning trying to get pressure on it. Maybe it's Teal. Teal inside the area. Teal. Desperation challenge. It'll break to Kennedy. Kennedy, can he shoot? Tries it towards goal. In the end, it's hacked out for the corner. There's been a bright opening here by the Latics inside the opening 5 minutes. They've certainly bossed their possession, and Peter Kennedy found himself virtually on goal. He drove towards the far post. It was hacked clear by Danny Bullman, and Wigan have their first corner. And of course, at this stage last week, they were already one up from Peter Kennedy's delivery at the set piece. And both De Vos and D'Azou are up from the back. And the referee just wants a quick word with one or two of the players for the off-the-ball incident. A bit of pushing on the far post. Certainly Kennedy will look to pick it out to that far post. It's looking for D'Azou. It'll come out to Tony Dinning. Dalgleish is in support. Dalgleish can deliver the cross. He looks to pick out Teal. It may break to D'Azou. D'Azou tries to get the pressure on. De Vos got to titch on, looking for Teal. In the end, just too far ahead of him. And Taylor hacks it down, first time, left-footed. Jackson wins one header. It'll break to Sean Devine. Devine controls well. Comes in looking for Devine. It may break on the far post, and it was Darren Curry who found himself unmarked. Arian D'Azou just enough to put him off a clean contact, and Wycombe win their first corner. Latics just leaving Gary Teal up front. Mark Rogers is up from the back, as of Steve Brown. Simpson with the corner, but he's in fact played it out, trying to curl in, using the wind to his advantage, but in the end put too much on it and played it out of play before it could even reach the penalty area. McCulloch contests it. D'Azou in strongly. D'Azou does well. Looking for McCulloch. McCulloch has to stretch. Taken off his toe by Bullman. Now Brown. This is Rogers, and it'll go all the way back to the goalkeeper Martin Taylor. Jackson has to check, but Sporran will look to get around the back of him. Jackson in the end just doing enough, and in the end the referee, Mr. Clattenburg, gave the verdict in favour of the Latics. There's two assistants this afternoon, Mr. Nicholson and Mr. Taylor, and the reserve official is Mr. McGee. Ball breaks kindly to McSporran. Curry's in the centre, as is Devine. McSporran may look to do it alone. He goes for goal. That's a smart save from Filan, and it needed to be. Took a wicked deflection to his near post, and Filan palmed it away. So Wycombe have their second corner. Swung in dangerously. It almost went in fact. Well, Filan in the end got it on the near post. Missed everybody out. I'm very surprised that none of the Wycombe players actually appealed for it, because it looked as if it had gone in. DeVos, composed defensive work once more. Here's Arian Dazoo. Short ball to Ian Nolan. He looks for McCulloch. McCulloch into the path of Kennedy. Kennedy tried to play it for Teal, but Teal was just retreating from the offside position. Dalglish with McSporran. Dalglish has done well. Jackson will clear, but it's a poor clearance. This is Danny Bullman looking for Devine. Laid off for Curry. And now we're going to have it with Peter Kennedy. Kennedy urged on by the Wigan supporters to get forward. Rolls it down the line looking for Teal. Teal controls it well. Gets one-on-one with Mark Rogers. Teal looking to break into the box. Teal goes for goal himself. It's a good effort, which Martin Taylor always had covered. What a confidence booster the goal was last Tuesday night. Gary Teal with his first for the club. And now he's always looking to head towards goal. Add to his tally. Read the bounce well. Found Dalglish. Dalglish tried to play it first time for Teal. Interception from Chris Vinico. Dalglish once more. Flip forward. Finds Teal. Teal into McCulloch. McCulloch onside. Into path of Dalglish. Dalglish puts it in first time. Pit too deep. And Kennedy can't reach it on the far post. But good interchanging from the Latics front men once more. Gary Teal and Lee McCulloch combining well to create the space. Unfortunately, the final ball was out of play. 10 minutes gone here at the JJB Stadium. No goals at the moment, but there's been one or two scares at both goals. Wigan somewhat fortunate to get away with an in-swinging corner, which John Filan somehow got clear, although I'd like to have a look at it again, because it would appear that it may have actually swung in. And Martin Taylor at the other end has seen two shots, one which is easily saved and one that's gone past the post. Ball played forward. Brown keeps it in play well. McSporran, but DeVos is there first. This is Simpson. Simpson checks. Dalglish tries to take it off him. Brown. Brannan. Dinning in strongly. A high one. Now Kennedy's unmarked. He's trying to control it. It's a difficult one, but he's done well. Nolan to Teal. Teal has to check. Plays short to Kennedy. Kennedy to Brannan. Brannan looks to pick out Dalglish and finds him. Jackson looking to release Dalglish. Dalglish will look to turn the gas on, but he's not going to keep it in play. Easily marshalled out by David Tuttle. It's certainly been noticeable that one or two of the players on both sides are misjudging the flight of the ball. So it's very, very blustery. It's going to take some time to adjust to the windy conditions. McCulloch's touch. Rogers' interception. DeVos plays it forward, but it's going to go out of play. comes all the way back to Martin Taylor, who's going to have to clear it. Linesman's flag's gone up, but the referee has allowed the advantage. That's good refereeing. Nolan to Kennedy. Kennedy unfortunately can't keep it in play. It was a difficult ball to control. Of course, the Latics missing the suspended Steve McMillan due to an accumulation of 5 bookings. He's been in some splendid form, the young Scotsman, in recent games. He's sorely missed this afternoon. There's Matt Jackson in possession for the Latics. He's looking to play it out to Lee McCulloch, who possibly felt that he could have gone offside, although he just checked, and it made the through ball look a poor one. Teal laid off to McCulloch. Great tackle from Rogers, but Dinning wins it back well. Now Tony Dinning, he can run at the defence. He may let shoot himself. He releases Kennedy. Kennedy drives it towards goal. It's a smart save from Taylor. McCulloch was looking to pounce. Kennedy did the right thing in keeping the cross hard and low, but Taylor made a smart save. The linesman has seen an infringement on the near side. Sean Devine is somewhat puzzled. Wigan get the free kick. Zoo has to check. It comes all the way back to John Filan. He's luckily found Peter Kennedy. This is Teal. Teal short to Brannan. Brannan finds Ian Nolan. Nolan looking for Teal. Interception from Rogers. Now this is McSporran. He's running at the Wigan defence, looking to pick up pace. Picks out Sean Devine. He looks to clip it forward for Brown. Brown makes a nuisance to himself. Devine with a shot. Good effort. Smart save from Filan. Good save from the Wigan keeper once more to deny Sean Devine. Left-footed drive towards the goal. Filan couldn't hold it in the end. McSporran was adjudged to be offside, and the pressure was relieved on the Wigan defence. Comfortable header from Curry. So back to John Filan, who'll have to put it away left-footed. He does well. Brown's header back. Tickle's clearance. Dinning up with Brown. We can win the ball. McCulloch does well. Does really well, the Wigan striker there, to take it off the toes of Danny Bullman. Tittle's header. Straight out of play on the far side. Teal muscled out of possession. Wasn't really going to be favourite. Zoo. A little short for Jackson. In the end he did well to get it. The boss with the ball forward, looking to pick out McCulloch. McCulloch couldn't quite take it in his stride. He was looking to lay it off first time. Brown. Jackson in the way. Douglas can't keep it in. Wycombe Wanderers some 17 games away from Adams Park. They've managed to record only the 4 victories. Certainly not the form of a promotion side. Their home form has been immaculate. And they've won themselves another corner on the far side. I think John Filan and his Wigan defenders will be hopefully more on their guard from this set piece. Swung in, this time to the far post. DeVos in the way. He puts it out for a throw-in. Rogers. Sender. Rogers ball forward. Dazoo has to be careful. Nolan got a piece of it. Kennedy managed to get it away to Dalglish. Dalglish, Dinning takes it off his toes. Dinning looking for the long ball over the top, looking for Gary Teal. Rogers with the interception, but it may break to McCulloch. Rogers is struggling, appeals for handball on 2 occasions. In the end, Gary Teal will settle for the corner. The swirling wing is playing havoc for both sets of sides. Rogers did well to cover the initial through ball, hacked it highwards, and then couldn't get the clearance away fully. Teal played it off his chest for another wing corner, which Peter Kennedy will take. This time with the excellent left foot he has, he will look to swing it inwards. Steep to the far post, looking for Dazoo, but Taylor does well to snatch it off the Wigan skipper's head. First time clearance. Teal making news to himself ahead of Rogers. Ball falls kindly to Chris Winicombe. Jackson in the way of Devine. Kennedy into check. Does well to feed Paul Dalglish. Now Dalglish can bring it forward. Space opening up ahead of him. Wigan players trying to stay on side. In the end, Dalglish was probably caught in 2 minds as to what he could do. And Wycombe can get bodies behind the ball. Dazoo clips it forward. Teal will chase after it. Taylor looks to be favourite. Sean Devine is penalised for the foul. He didn't like it. Brannan looking to pick out McCulloch and finds him with a great ball. McCulloch looking to do it alone. Felt that he was body checked by Rogers. Nothing given. Ball played forward looking for McSporran. DeVos is the covering Wigan defender. McSporran looking to roll him. He's done well, the young striker. DeVos will chase it down. At the end, concedes the corner. Michael Simpson over this set piece. Darren Curry's come away from the play. Rogers and Tuttle are up from the back. Swung into the far post. Danger's not cleared as yet. Teal will look to get there ahead of Winicombe. Lays it off into the path of McCulloch. McCulloch infield to Dalglish. Dalglish plays it back to Teal. And then Teal's first touch was dreadful. And Wycombe have it back with Brown. Feeds it out to the far side in the shape of Sean Devine. Devine has everything to his right. Predominantly left-footed. Sells Steve Brown short. Dinning, infield to Dalglish. Dalglish can now run at the Wycombe defence. Slips it through to McCulloch. McCulloch's onside. It didn't quite make the run as Dalglish would like it, and he had Jeb Brannan and Peter Kennedy on the near side looking for a ball as well. Ball fed down the line, looking for Sean Devine, who controls well. DeVos goes across to greet him. Devine almost slips it through. Zoo can clear. Leads it out to Kennedy. Kennedy with a good first touch. Here he is once more. Looking forward for McCulloch. Finds him. McCulloch concerned. Dinning. Brannan. Out it goes to Matt Jackson. Plenty of space for Wigan players. They just need to utilise it better. This is Paul Dalgleish. Dalgleish, first time cross. Looking for McCulloch, who's onside. Taylor's up with him. Taylor goes down to the collision in the end. Teal taps into the empty goal, but the referee has blown up for the foul. Martin Taylor, who certainly looked to punch the cross, didn't get anywhere near it, and the referee adjudged that Lee McCulloch had collided with him on the far post, and Wycombe get the verdict. Nolan's headed forward. Dinning contests with Bullman. Ball played forward. Zoo with the clearance. Sender. Tuttle first time. Space for Curry on the near side. Plays short to McSparran. McSparran can turn. Led off to Curry again. Kennedy quick to close him down. Curry may look to run along. Gets the cross in. Dazoo's header away. Still Wigan haven't really got the danger away. It's the Sender. Curry. The Wigan supporters certainly felt it was out of play. Who wins strongly. With the header, Bullman trying to keep the pressure on. Dazoo once more with the header away. All the way across by Mark Rogers, took a chance. He's now Chris Vinico playing it down the line first time. DeVos in the way. Brannan. And two Wycombe players come to him quickly. It's now Matt Jackson looking for movement ahead of him. Clips it forward, looking for the run of Dinning. Dinning, can he control it? Just a little unfortunate as he lost his balance. And he did have the space. Here's Arian Dazoo. Nolan. Poor ball for Kennedy. Well won by Michael Simpson. Ball played off the back of Nolan. Kennedy. Devine looking to get away from DeVos. Laid off to Brown. DeVos with the interception. Dazoo hacks it anywhere. And Teal picks up the Latics. Neatly cushioned off to Kennedy. Kennedy now needs support. Played short to Arian Dazoo. Dalgleish looking for McCulloch. It may break to Teal. In the end it's played back to Taylor, who hacks it first time. Dalgleish looking to pick out McCulloch. McCulloch's little flick almost released Gary Teal. Certainly the game at the moment has panned out to a more even contest. Started off at 100 miles an hour in the opening 5 or 10 minutes. But here's Tony Dinning looking to up the tempo. Releases Peter Kennedy. Acres of room for Kennedy. Can he deliver a good cross? He plays it in. Almost released Dalglish. It was a great interception from Danny Bowman. And Wycombe can bring it away with Curry. And suddenly there's space for Simpson on the far side. Devine pulls away, hugging the touchline. Dinning quickly back at him. Wigan have managed to get players behind the wall. This is the fullback Wycombe. Goes short to Simpson. Simpson assessing the options ahead of him. Very few at the moment. And Wycombe have had to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. And they were making some great inroads towards the Wigan defence. Brannan penalised for the foul on Danny Bowman. Wycombe have the free kick, which Simpson takes quickly into Devine. Devine looking to turn, has to do at his back. Rolled to Devine, or rather Bowman, sorry, but his cross took a deflection. And Filan with the interception rolls it out quickly to Paul Dalglish. The crowd urging Dalglish to run it himself, and still he goes, looking to get past Wycombe. Goes past the second challenge, but he was brought down, and we're going to have the free kick. Arian Dessou joining the line of Wigan strikers, alongside his centre-half counterpart Jason DeVos. There's plenty of pushing on the edge of the box there, which the referee is going to be notified of. It swung in, looking for DeVos. It may be to Arian Dessou! And Taylor in the end just stood his ground and gratefully accepted the ball. And Nolan did well as that ball was hanging in the wind to head it out of play for a throw-in. Bullman wants to take it quickly. This is Devine. Teal wins it off him. And carelessly given away by Tony Dinning, so Wycombe have it back. With Steve Brown. He gives it away blindly, and McCulloch had more space than that, but anyway, we're going to have it with Jackson. Jackson out to Dalglish. Dalglish looking to move in field with it. Played it to Teal. Teal just slips as he looked to turn. And Wycombe have it back with Steve Brown. Brown to Devine. Devine out to Jermaine McSporran. Devine continues to run forward. He's offside though, so McSporran has to do it alone. And suddenly it opens up for him. He goes for goal. And yeah, never testing John Filan. Martin Taylor at the other end has been busy also. Both DeVos and Dessou went for the same ball. It worked out right in the end. Now the referee has seen an off-the-ball incident involving Arian Dessou and Jermaine McSporran. And well, Arian Dessou's going over protesting his innocence. The referee obviously didn't like something that the Wigan skipper did. Certainly something that happened off the ball, and Arian Dessou has been shown the yellow card. Played short to Chris Wycombe. Wycombe now looking to possibly hit the byline. Gets across him. Sporran was free and unmarked. Still it's not cleared. Tuttle plays it into the far post. And out of play. Nolan. McCulloch up with Rogers. Rogers in the end got a head onto it. Wycombe put it out for a throw-in, which Kennedy wants to take quickly. He finds Dalglish. Dalglish controls well. Little options ahead of him. Devine puts it out for the throw-in. Normally we've seen Jason DeVos hurl the long throw-ins in of late. Looks like it's going to be the turn of Ian Nolan to put a ball into the box. DeVos has taken up a post on the near post, and here's the target. It's aimed at him, it's headed away. Dazoo rather will look to keep the pressure on. Still it's not cleared. Kennedy struggling to get the ball in. It breaks to DeVos. DeVos with a first time shot. Was slightly off balance. Possibly didn't appreciate the space that he had. Jason DeVos, who of course scored 2 goals the last time we was here in the 4-0 home success against Cardiff City. 2 very similar goals. Well, in fact all 4 were pretty similar. One from the left foot of Peter Kennedy, and everyone a header into the back of the net. Brown plays it forward. DeVos has to be careful. Takes the safety first option. There's Wycombe. We can have it back, although he nearly had it back. Well, McSporran has been allowed to run all the way across. He's evaded 3 Wigan challenges and still has the ball. Played short to Darren Curry. Curry has support in field in the shape of Daniel Sender, but Dalglish has won it back. And now Latics on the counter-attack with Dalglish. He releases Tommy Dinning. Dinning the furthest forward, looking for support ahead of him. Looks to pick out Lee McCulloch, finds him with a great ball. McCulloch plays it back to Kennedy. Kennedy has plenty of support in the area. Roll back to Jackson. Jackson feeds it in, looking for Dalglish, or rather it's Lee McCulloch. Jeb Brannan, but Wycombe have managed to get bodies behind the ball. In the end, Jackson control eludes him, but he'll have the ball back. Brannan does well. He plays it out to Ian Nolan. Nolan looking to move in field, clipped over the top for the run of McCulloch. Linesman's flag. The judge is him offside. Neat layoff from McCulloch. Nolan's first time ball was asking a lot of Dalglish, but Wigan will be encouraged to chase it down. This is Taylor in possession. Dazoo in strongly. Now Ian Nolan. Nolan clips over the top, looking for the run of Dalglish. Dalglish's header. McCulloch takes command. This is Jeb Brannan. Brannan's done well. Now Jackson. And Jackson can run at the defence. Somewhat dallied in possession, and Wycombe can get it clear. DeVos. Kennedy can't control it. Wycombe have it back, and then Devine can't control it. Both sides guilty of giving away possession cheaply. Wycombe down the line looking for McSporran. McSporran running it wide. Dazoo wins strongly, and Dazoo wings it well. Looking for options ahead of him. Loud appeals for handball. The referees allowed the advantage, which in the end Wigan couldn't make the most of. The referee is trying to explain to the players that he allowed the advantage, and he's got a point really. He did the right thing, but unfortunately it didn't profit for the Latics. Meantime, there's been a slight tactical change in the Wigan forward play. Teal and Dalglish have just momentarily swapped positions. Dalglish playing as the centre forward and Gary Teal out as the right winger. This is Brown. Careless gives it away to Kennedy. Kennedy now plays it out to Gary Teal. Acres of room for Teal to exploit. Has McCulloch in the centre here. Nolan's well forward from the back. Teal, and still he goes. Laid off to Kennedy. Kennedy tried to get the shot in, was well blocked. Curry gets it away. Brannan in with Brown. Well, the referee adjudged that to be a foul, but we can get the free kick. Passing strongly on 2 occasions. McCulloch. Ball played forward. Sender with the interception. Played out by David Tuttle on the near side. Well, certainly the referee is allowing the game to flow as best he possibly can on every opportunity, which possibly isn't the liking to both sets of players. Here's Dalglish. Has to check. Runs into Kennedy. Kennedy takes it over. Gets the cross in left-footed. Taylor in the end had a comfortable catch to make. But a brighter moment from the Latics point of view. Kennedy, who so normally delivers such a good cross with the left foot of his, this time couldn't pick out the blue shirt up front. McCulloch over the top for Teal. Now Teal will chase that and he'll get it as well. Space in the centre for Kennedy. Can Kennedy get on the end of it? He controls it well. Laid it back to Dalglish. Dalglish couldn't quite turn. Tuttle muscled him out of possession and Wycombe bring it away. But Gary Teal did really well to get on the end of that ball. And got the cross in. Kennedy did everything right. Unfortunately, Paul Dalglish couldn't get the shot in, but certainly the space up front. Brannan looks to pick out Gary Teal. Fine ball. Teal controlled it well, but Brown dispossesses him. Brown looks to play it over the top. DeVos got away with it somewhat. The Wigan defender somewhat toying with Sean Devine. There's Arian Dazoo. Played short to Dalglish, who's come off his marker. Dazoo once more. Out it goes to Matt Jackson. Back into the first team action this afternoon, Matt Jackson, following the 5-week layoff. Injury picked up in the 3-0 success against Brighton. Here's Steve Brown. Al Simpson, who's been relatively quiet by his standards. Almost such an influential player for Wycombe Wanderers, as is Steve Brown. Vinnie Coe, also looking to take it down the line. He's gone past 2 challenges and Vinnie Coe's looking to do it alone. He gets the cross in, done really well. What a pity no one capitalised on his cross. The fullback took on 2 Wigan defenders, went past them with ease, got the cross in, but unfortunately no one was in the centre to be picked out. Senders ball forward, looking for Curry. Curry gets possession of it. Just Ian Nolan tracking his run at the moment. Curry will settle for the corner off Nolan. Approaching 4 minutes to the half-time interval. Still goalless. Wycombe have this corner kick to be taken by Michael Simpson. So into the far post. Header away by McCulloch. Teal with a touch on. Vinnie Coe trying to keep the pressure on. DeVos his head round. Picks out Paul Dalglish. Just Gary Teal up in the attack at the moment. Dinning trying to join them. Dalglish plays it into that area. Linesman's flag's gone up. Very surprisingly. Well, the linesman is actually indicating that there was a spot of shirt tugging by one of the Wycombe defenders. I think the referee initially thought it was for the offside. But fair play to the linesman for spotting that for some distance. And the referee has, in the end, seen what has happened. It will eventually be a Wigan free kick. And number 17, Mark Rogers, the Canadian international, is being called across to the referee. Now, if he's classified as the last man, well, he's been shown the yellow card. He's processed his innocence. He may be a case of mistaken identity. In the end, he has to take the caution. And Wigan will now have a free kick. Some 30 yards out from goal. Dead centre. Certainly Tommy Dinning can strike a dead ball. Peter Kennedy is also a favourite to possibly hit it with the left foot. Wycombe have had to pull everyone behind the ball. Jeb Brannan is also over it. Kennedy leaves it. It's Brannan. Brannan strikes it into the wall. Danger not cleared though. Kennedy out to Ian Nolan. Nolan feeds it into the area. Header away by Brown. This is Jackson. Jackson with a shot. Good effort. Flashes past the post. Ross was up strongly, but too strongly for the referee's liking. And Sean Devine, who feels he's not had the rub of the green this afternoon, wins his side the free kick. Flip deep, looking for Devine. DeVos was climbing all over, and John File in the end takes it right off the toes of the Wycombe striker. He looks to hack it clear. Picks out Peter Kennedy. Kennedy flicks it on, looking for Dalglish. Too far ahead of him. Sender puts it out of play. 45 minutes virtually are up. Brannan looks to pick out Teal. Easily intercepted. Now Steve Brown can bring it away for Wycombe. Played short to Sean Devine. Devine, interception from Brannan. It's just going to be 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. McCulloch, the referee saw the foul. We're going to have the free kick. Denning wants to get on with the play anxiously, as was Jeb Brannan. Opposite plate short to Jackson. Jackson looking over the top for Teal. Teal touched it on. Tuttle takes the ball out of play. We're going to have a throw-in. Over the top, Teal has got behind the Wycombe defence. Wycombe did well to get back at him, but the Latics will settle for a corner, and one last chance to test Martin Taylor in the Wycombe goal before the break. Wycombe leading 2 up, which will possibly force the Latics to leave 3 back. 2 centre halves up from the back. Swung in, looking for DeVos, who got his head to it. It'll break to Paul Dalglish. He's well dispossessed by Simpson. The referee brings the opening 45 minutes to an end. It's goalless at the break. Both sides have had decent chances. John Filan arguably tested on 2 or 3 occasions. One smart save from Sean Devine, and the follow-up couldn't be turned home. Martin Taylor has been kept occupied in the Wycombe goal as well. Teal, McCulloch and Dalglish have been a handful, but as yet we have no goals. Half-time at the JJB is Wigan Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. We welcome you back to the JJB Stadium, the second half of this Nationwide League Division 2 clash between the Latics and Wycombe Wanderers. Of course, goalless at the break. Both managers Paul Jewell and Laurie Sanchez will have had their 10 to 15 minutes with their respective players. And we're looking to get some goals in this second half, but it's Wigan to kick off, attacking the goal to our right. Certainly Laurie Sanchez will be the more pleased of the 2 bosses, although at this stage of the season the 3 points are essential. Latics, who still mathematically can make the playoffs, they would in fact need to win something like 10 of their remaining 12 fixtures. Wycombe with a more realistic chance of reaching the top 6 or 7. As we mentioned prior to kick-off, Laurie Sanchez has set his side 8 victory targets between now and the end of the season. Here is Sender, laid off to Curry, 3 up in the box if Curry can deliver the cross. Zoo gets in the way. Curry gets a cross in, Kennedy's header. Header put back into the area. Scrambled away by Tony Dinning. Steve Brown can keep the pressure on. Played to Devine. He's penalised for the foul on Matt Jackson. The substitutes for this afternoon's game, the Latics, they have Ian Johnson at 26, Ian Kilford 18, Ian Pendlebury at 32, Lee Ashcroft at 10, and number 15 is Paul Mitchell. Now for Wycombe Wanderers, they have Keith Ryan at 8, Andrew Baird at 9, 11 Paul Emblem, 14 Stuart Roberts, and 25 is Martin Lee. Dinning, DeVos's cushion header, Jackson drives it down the line. Dalglish will be encouraged to chase, and he'll do very well to keep it in play. It just beats it out for the throw-in. Celtics have started the second half as they finished the first, with McCulloch and Dalglish up front and Teal on the right wing. This is Ian Nolan, feeds it out to Kennedy. Kennedy first time ball looking for McCulloch. It may break to Dalglish. Tuttle with the desperate clearance into the east stand on the far side. Ian Nolan with the long throw in. DeVos is looking for it. Well, the referee has penalised Jason DeVos, and he was actually sandwiched in between two Wycombe players. He certainly didn't seem to be doing anything wrong. But as always in those instances, it always tends to go to the defensive side. Dinning's ball forward. McCulloch looking to get on the end of it. McCulloch's dispossessed. Mark Rogers. McCulloch trying to break into the area. Rogers got a piece of it in the end. He did enough, but the supporters felt there was an infringement. Nothing given though. The boss plays it all the way back to John Filan. Filan with the first time clearance. The boss cushions it to Ian Nolan. Nolan feeds it down the line, but it's a poor ball. Here's Simpson. Just toe-ended it ahead of Paul Dalglish. Ball over the top. Both DeVos and Dazoo got too close to each other. Filan with the clearance. Throwing down the line. Sender's interception. And his clearance as well. From McCulloch. Dalglish trying to get there ahead of David Tuttle. He's penalised for the foul. Filan quick to get the ball in play again. Jackson with the long ball down the line, easily intercepted though. This is Steve Brown, goes past the challenge of Dinning, tries to release Sean Devine. DeVos will always be favourite. Filan's clearance hanging in the wind. Jackson brings it down well and settle for a throw-in. Mentioned Wycombe Wanderers looking for their first ever victory in Wigan in their 5 previous encounters, both at the Springfield Park and of course here at the JJB. They've not managed to register anything more than a draw. In 5 games they've lost 3 times and drawn on 2 occasions. Kennedy looking down the line for Nolan. Nolan trying to get there ahead of the man Rogers, but Rogers with the sliding interception. into the area, looking for Dazoo. It'll break to Lee McCulloch. McCulloch on the turn. Oh, it got blocked. He looked destined for the goal. Wycombe didn't know too much about it, and Wycombe scramble it clear. Wigan starts at the defensive areas again. Jackson drives it forward, looking for the run of Dalglish. It just eludes him out of play. So Athletics looking more lively at the start of the second half. So desperate to keep their good run going. So they've scored 7 goals in the last 2 matches with the 2 victories. And should they manage to get themselves in front here and get the 3 points, it'll be the first time they've recorded 3 victories on the trot all season. Jason DeVos with a free kick, looking for McCulloch, it eludes him. Kennedy puts it into the air, Rodgers had to stretch. Danny Bowman did well. Simpson for Devine, couldn't control it. Bad pass to taking his stride. Kennedy tried to clip it over the top for Dalglish. Kennedy could have possibly took it himself, elected to pass though. That ball stayed in play, hit the corner flag. Arian Dazoo did well to anticipate that. Kennedy over the free kick. Played short, it's a poor ball. We're going to have to start again with Peter Kennedy. McCulloch contests with Sender. Sender did really well. Throwing down the line for Dalglish. He's the first to react. 2 Wycombe players go to him. Dalglish really struggling in the end. He had to give in. Dazoo with a good tackle on Sean Devine. Now the space for Lee McCulloch. McCulloch may look to go it alone. In the end he hesitated. He had runners to both left and right, but unfortunately he didn't deliver the pass. This is Darren Curry rather. 4 Wycombe players all came to greet each other in the centre of the park, and Curry played it down the line. Here's Peter Kennedy, who switched wings momentarily. He's now on the near side. Played short to Jeb Brannan. Brannan in turn to Gary Teal. This is Matt Jackson. Looking to Dalglish, interception from Rodgers. Now Tony Dinning. Dinning goes for goal, well blocked. Curry with the clearance. Dazoo has to be very careful. Sporran's done well. Dazoo gets a toe in. Sporran is claiming possession for Wycombe Wanderers. Rolled it short to Curry, and there's options on this far side if Curry can deliver it. Curry goes for goal. In the end, always going well wide, but Wycombe certainly had players over. This time John Fowler not called upon. Brennan with the free header. Dalglish, McCulloch, the space for Kennedy. Dalglish wants it short. Kennedy may look to do it alone. Plays into McCulloch. McCulloch to Brannan, back to Kennedy. Releases Teal. Great opportunity for the Latics. Teal flicks it in, it's a poor cross, and Wycombe heads it clear. This is Matt Jackson. Dinning dispossessed though by Bullman. Now Brown. That's Ian Nolan in the way. We're going to have it back with Jason DeVos. Nolan looking for Kennedy. Kennedy controls it well. Space in field for Dalglish. Dalglish was sold short, but he's done well. He's battling away. In the end, he's won his side the free kick. Beats Kennedy as ever to deliver left-footed, but the referee just wants a quick word because there's lots of pushing on the edge of the box. There's about 5 or 6 players all looking for the same space. Kennedy drills it in deep to the far post. In the end, it almost goes in, and Taylor has to turn it over his own crossbar. Not too certain whether Peter Kennedy was looking to go for goal from the free kick, but in the end, it turned out to be a half-decent effort. And Taylor had to palm it over very, very quickly. So Kennedy wants more from the set piece. Drills into the near post, looking for DeVos. 2 Wycombe players to him. Teal. Kennedy can keep the pressure on. Roll short to Teal. Teal drives in, comes off the back of Wycombe. Hesitation. It's not clear as yet. Teal hacks in, great cross. Looking for McCulloch. McCulloch, can he turn? He's being hauled down. The supporters more are appealing for the penalty rather than the actual Wigan players. And now Wycombe are on the counter-attack, and they've 3-on-2 if it can be played right. It's McSporran. Devine is peeling onto the far post, played into his area, but John Final makes a comfortable save. And now the game is becoming stretched. This is Gary Teal. Teal skips inside Steve Brown. Looking for support, finds it in the shape of Dalglish. Wycombe did well to stretch. Rodgers with the interception. Over the top for Brown. Brown hacks it down the line, Devine will chase. DeVos should take command of the situation and does just that. Matt Jackson, everything in front of it at the moment. He plays it forward, a little bit behind McCulloch. Brannan battling away with Simpson. In the end, he's penalised for the foul on Simpson. Curry looking for McSporran. Dazoo with the interception. Falls nicely to Danny Bullman. He now needs support. Has space on the far side. McSporran's unmarked. Devine in the centre. Drilled into that area. Dazoo with the clearance. Out for the corner. An hour gone at the JJB, still goalless. Wigan showing signs that they're meaning business in the second half, but Wycombe now have a corner kick. Put into the penalty area. He's looking for David Tuttle. Dazoo going the way. Now Teal can run it down the line. Tried to go past the challenge of Curry, but he'll settle for a throw-in. Ross plays it to Ian Nolan. Nolan checks. Now it opens up for him a little bit. He's looking for forward runners. He's careless to giving it away to Danny Bullman, and now he can counter-attack for Wycombe. Rolled short to McSporran. Devine's straight offside. McSporran will have to do it on his own at the moment. Nolan got a piece of it. and Dalglish did well. Brannan, neat ball to Teal. Teal just sold short. It would appear that Laurie Sanchez is going to make his first substitution in the shape of the number 9, Andrew Baird. Teal just keep it in play, but can't retain possession. Ball played down the line, looking for Devine. De Vos, as ever, with the calm defensive work. Vinnie Cole, he does well. Steve Brown, quickly closed down by Jeb Brannan. Another substitution is going to be made. Number 21, Darren Curry, is going to be substituted. A quiet game, Darren Curry, the ex-Barnet man. It's a straight swap on the right-hand side of the Wycombe Wanderers attack. For the number 9, Andrew Baird. Sparrow will actually go onto the right-hand side of the midfield, and Baird will team up with Sean Devine up front. To get involved early on from this header, De Vos in the way. Jackson, Vinnie Combs header forward. De Vos up strongly, likewise Steve Brown, as was Arian Dazoo. Teal, little break to Tommy Dinning. Dinning plays it over the top, looking for McCulloch. McCulloch looking to chase it down with Rogers. Rogers has to concede the throw-in. Jackson with the throw-in. Brown got the touch on. Brannan trying to keep the pressure on, and in the end Taylor sees the ball go out for the goal kick. Steve Brown's allowed a free header. McCulloch. Lovely play from McCulloch. Did really well, but then unfortunately gave the ball away. Did all the hard work. Was quite clearly pushing all over the back of Sean Devine. He didn't need to put that tackle in. Well, that's a little nudge on Devine. Wycombe will have a free kick. Big men come up from the back in the shapes of David Tuttle and Mark Rogers. Simpson will look to deliver left-footed. Drives it, but it only goes into the wall. Dalglish is penalised for the foul on Danny Bullman. Wycombe will have the free kick. The referee certainly taking command of the situation, making sure that the ball was placed in the exact spot where the infringement took place. Shot comes in from Devine, straight into the Wigan wall. McCulloch's worse for wear from it. Well, it's not McCulloch actually, it's another one of the Wigan players. I think it's Jeb Brannan who's still down injured, somewhat winded from that vicious strike. He's now back on his feet. McSporran with a cross, looking for Andy Baird on the far post. It may break to Steve Brown, but Dinning in the way. Dalglish will chase that down with Chris Vinicombe. Vinicombe hacks it forward. Andrew Baird can't control it. Brannan's ball over the top. Teal will chase that with Chris Vinico. Vinico has to put it out. Jackson is urging the Wigan players to get forward. DeVos is the target. Brown got his head to it. And Brown gets the clearance away. Only as far as Ian Nolan though, the Wigan fullback. He curls it over the top, looking for Kennedy, who could only head it in field as it was going to elude him out of play. Heads on by McSporran. Nolan. Miscued clearance from McSporran. Dinning. Little break to Teal though. Can Teal control? He's done just that. Kennedy crosses it in first time, looking for McCulloch. McCulloch got his head on it, couldn't turn it goalwards, and Wigan clears it down the line, only as far as Matt Jackson. Jackson just keeps it in play. This is Jason DeVos. He clips it forward, looking for the run of Lee McCulloch. Rogers has to put it out for a throw-in. DeVos this time gets the flick on. Teal tries to lay it off to McCulloch, couldn't quite do so. Wycombe scramble it clear. DeVos trying to keep the pressure on. There's no offside. The shot comes in. What a good effort from McCulloch. Rasping drive, which Taylor did well to hold on to. DeVos, or rather Dazoo, in strongly on Bullman. The referee has allowed the advantage though, as Wycombe have possession of it with McSporran. He looks to run Ian Nolan, gets a great cross in, which Filan in the end just pulled from right underneath the crossbar, and it was very surprising again that no Wycombe man attacked the ball. McSporran did really good to get the cross in. Unfortunately, no one attacked it for him. Vinico struggling in possession. McCulloch has it. And the referee wants a quick word with the Wigan captain, who of course has already been booked. I think the referee's just explained to him that it's on his last chance. One more infringement like that, and I possibly feel he could be shown the red card. We're going to have the throw-in, which Matt Jackson will take. The boss, as ever, will situate himself on the near post. Got a flick on the last one. Looks to do very similar here. He gets the flick on. He may break to McCulloch. McCulloch, can he turn? He couldn't quite do so. And Sean Devine can bring it away. Just not quite bouncing and falling to a blue shirt at the right time for the Latics at the moment. And certainly getting the good flick on the first time, but they can't get the shots in as they would like. 20 minutes to go here at the JJB, still goalless. Jackson with the touch. Bullman does really well to release Jermaine McSporran. Nolan goes across to meet him. Kennedy is in backup support. McSporran's ball through his centre is a very poor one. Linesman judged the ball to have gone out for the goal kick, so John Final will do just that. Coming strongly on McCulloch. This is now Matt Jackson. Jackson played it short to Teal. Teal looking to Dinning. Dinning over the top for Teal again. Tuttle is the last defender, and he gets the ball away. It's well controlled by Danny Sender. Plays it down the line and out of play. Teal's header, interception, clearance from Sender. Jackson has to be careful. And he's been dispossessed by Sean Devine, who's done well. Devine just ran into Jackson, who just stood up strong to the tackle. Steve Brown down the line looking for Devine, who will do no more than just knock it into the face of Chris Winicombe. Sean Devine, of course, only back into the side after a lengthy time out. He was out for some 18 months with a mystery knee injury, and now back to full fitness. Looking to get round the back of DeVos. Teal is covering. High ball into the penalty area. Nolan with the interception, a good header. Now it releases Kennedy. Kennedy tries to play it first time, looking for McCulloch. Almost got it around the back of Danny Sender. Sender did well. And likewise did Arian Dezu. Kennedy. Now Jeb Brown, who's been relatively quiet in the second half. And that appeals for handball against Jackson, and it certainly would have a case. Dalglish, Dinning. DeVos, side-footed through, looking for Teal. It goes over his head. Clearance from Tuttle. Paul Dalglish the first to show. Roll back to Tony Dinning, who has to check. Plays it all the way back to Arian Dezu. Has support in the shape of Ian Nolan. Kennedy is hugging the touchline on the far side. Now this is Kennedy, looking to pick up pace. Gets into the area, goes past one. Laid off to Jeb Brannan. Brannan with a shot towards goal in the end. Always over the crossbar and rising. Activity on the Wigan bench below us. It would appear that Ian Kilford is stripped off and ready for action. Kilford, of course, a midfield player. Simpson with a header. Devine, good control. Dezu struggling with the clearance. DeVos likewise. Danger not cleared as yet. Brown puts it to the far post. Played back in. In the end, a decent effort from McSporran. Filan had to be on his guard. Bowls it out quickly to Kennedy, but it's just asking too much of him. A good interception by Sender. McSporran, early ball in, looking for Devine. Devine rolls Jackson. Devine may look to get the shot in. He goes for goal. It takes a deflection. And the deflection was actually off Andy Bird. And it goes out for the goal kick. Ian Kilford's coming on. Jeb Brannan who's going off, so a straight swap in the heart of the Wigan midfield. Jeb Brannan being substituted by Ian Kilford.
The substitution replacing number 20 Jeb Brannan and 18 Ian Kilford.
Lost with the acrobatic clearance forward. Just header back. Likewise from Dezu. The referee's allowed a good advantage. Now this is Steve Brown. Guildford trying to get involved early doors. Ball played out to Sean Devine, who will keep it in play on the near side. He's gone past one challenge, couldn't get past the second. Dinning. Kilford, well, he did well in the end, took a chance and got away with it. Here is Kilford once more. He plays it to Dinning. Dalglish is offering support. Dinning plays it into his path. Can Dalglish get there first? There's a good interception. Dalglish certainly wasn't favourite to get it. Well, some of the supporters felt he possibly didn't go for the ball. Ball comes to Jackson. Sold Tony Dinning short, and then Dinning went in with a late challenge on Simpson. Wycombe have the free kick. Contest. Dalglish up strongly. Brown's gone down on the collision. Wycombe will get the free kick. Wycombe Wanderers, of course, looking for a rare double this season. They, of course, beat us at Adams Park 1-0 earlier on the season. And so the scoreline here this afternoon will do very nicely from their point of view. This is Wycombe. Devine's touch, but the referee has seen a foul. It's going to be another Wycombe free kick. A few of the players are a bit mystified as to why that decision's been given. Simpson swings in dangerously. It comes off the head of DeVos. Danger not cleared as yet. Kennedy gets it away. Kilford will chase his own clearance down. Simpson knocks it high. Dalglish gets a touch on. Wycombe plays it even higher. No one's attacking the ball at the moment. DeVos eventually gets a touch on it. Now it's Ian Kilford. Kilford looking down the line for Gary Teal. Teal being shoved off possession, but he's got the ball now. Rolled to Dalglish. Dalglish puts it in first time. Looking for Tony Dinning. Looks Sporran's missed it. Dinning with a shot. Comes off the back of Danny Sender. And out for another Wigan corner. Lee Ashcroft is ready to come into the action. He's going to get the last 10 minutes or so. Ashcroft, who's not seen much first team action in recent weeks. It's Paul Dalglish who's going off. So a straight swap up front. Ashcroft goes up front alongside Lee McCulloch. He's going to get involved in this corner kick straight away. To be taken by Kennedy. Kennedy clips into the area. Header away, only as far as Tony Dinning. Dinning will be encouraged to chip it back into the area. Deep to the far post. DeVos. It'll break to Kennedy. It'll break to Teal, but he can't control it. And it goes out somewhat disappointingly for the throw-in. Encouraging the Wycombe players to get on with it somewhat. Brown gets the flick on. Devine can't keep it in play. We're going to have the throw in. 10 minutes to go. Teal's touch. McCulloch. Well, incredibly, still in play, and it falls to Teal. Teal gets a cross in. It looks for Ashcroft. Ashcroft went down to the challenge. Well, Ashcroft's remonstrating with the referee. He felt he was fouled. Certainly there was a touch on him. How much contact, we're not too certain. The Zoo wins it back well for Latics. Kennedy to Tommy Dinning. Dinning feeds Ian Nolan. Nolan plays it through the centre. Ashcroft trying to make a nuisance to himself up front. Almost on his side a corner, penalty rather. The referee didn't think so though. Baird. Kilford takes it off his toes. Kilford short to Ashcroft. Ashcroft now tries to play it short to Teal. It's hacked down the line. Unfortunately, Wycombe took it out of play. Wigan will have the throw-in. Certainly the supporters are doing their utmost to raise their side. So desperately need to just nudge themselves in front here. Jackson with a lengthy throw-in. DeVos is the target. Well, certainly has been pushing all afternoon, really. That clearance from Wycombe has suddenly found McSporran in acres of room, and Wycombe have 3-on-2 here. McSporran can deliver. He may look to do it alone. He gets into the area, drives towards goal. Great save from Byron. Fantastic save from the Wigan keeper once more. And now Wigan can counter-attack with Teal. Teal looking for options ahead of him. Finds one short to Ashcroft. Ashcroft can't go past the challenge of Wycombe, and Wycombe have it back. DeVos with a lengthy throw-in. McCulloch gets a touch on it. Teal skips inside Wycombe. Well, the referee has seen that Steve Brown has gone down injured. Jackson can't believe it. The referee has seen that it was a head injury and has immediately called the play back. A somewhat controversial decision. Brown is now back on his feet, or almost back on his feet. Jackson is making sure that the Wycombe man's not too badly injured. The referee probably at that stage couldn't take any chances. But Steve Brown is okay to continue. And the referee will now restart the game with a drop ball right on the halfway when Wigan were in total command of the situation. It was played forward by Devine and receives a chorus of boos from the Wigan supporters. DeVos with the header back. Ashcroft in strongly on Steve Brown, and Brown is down injured again. Well, this time the referee is calling across the Wigan offender, Lee Ashcroft. He's actually going to be shown the yellow card. Ashcroft, who's only been on the field of play for some 5 or 6 minutes, is going to receive a caution. DeVos up with Baird. Simpson trying to keep the pressure on. DeVos wins a second header. Simpson again. It'll break to Devine. It may break to Baird. Baird on the edge of the area. Gets the shot in, well blocked by Ian Nolan. And Wycombe, of course, in one of their last away games, got a last-minute winner against Bournemouth to give themselves all 3 points. Are they going to do something similar here in Wigan? This is Sender. Sender may look to get a cross in. Rolled back to McSporran. McSporran puts it in first time. The linesman flags up. Wigan will have the free kick. Final be encouraged to boot it downfield as quick as he possibly can. Ashcroft is the target. Ashcroft gets a touch on. McCulloch likewise, but Taylor will get there first. And he wasn't going to take a chance. Felt he could have just gathered that at the edge of the penalty area, but he decided to put it out of play. Jackson with a throw-in. DeVos gets the flick on. Likewise from Ashcroft. It may break to McCulloch. Dazou's going in there strongly. Dazou wins it back. Teal with a shot. Actually hits Arian Dazou. And Wycombe gain away. And now Devine. Well, he looked offside, but nothing given. Game continues. Ian Nolan hacks it downfield. Looking for Ashcroft. It goes over his head. Vinnie Cohn with the clearance. DeVos in strongly. Teal controls it, and now Teal can run at the Wycombe defence, and still it's Gary Teal. Teal slipped it through, looking for McCulloch. McCulloch couldn't take it in his stride, but Dinning has won it back. Dinning lays it off to Kilford. Kilford to Jackson. Jackson, can he get a cross in? He puts it into the far post. The header away. Loud appeals for handball! Massive appeals for handball, but nothing given. Well, controversy at the end. A clear handball in the far post, not seen by the referee, and Wycombe have got away with it. Zoo with the header. It goes out for a Wycombe throw-in. Well, the supporters and players can't believe it. One of the more clearer handballs of the season, missed on the far post, and Wycombe breathe again. But Wigan have it back with McCulloch. McCulloch, he'll settle for a throw-in. It's the last 2 or 3 minutes. Nolan throws it down the line, misjudged by Sender. Ashcroft battling away with him. Eventually Sender puts a foot through the ball. Dazou has to be the last man. We'll see it roll out for a throw-in. McCulloch gets a flick on. Sender got a touch. Simpson plays it forward. Dazou in strongly. This is Ian Kilford now. Kilford quickly dispossessed by Simpson. We're going to have a throw-in. They need to get it forward quickly though. McCulloch can't control it. Sender anywhere will do now for Wycombe. DeVos with a header. Dinning does well. Just. Jackson takes command of the situation. Now this is Ian Nolan. Has to get it forward quickly. Ashcroft is the target. Ashcroft controls it. Laid off to Kennedy. Kennedy plays it forward, looking for McCulloch. It'll break to Gary Teal. Kilford makes a forward run. There's 3 minutes of added time. Teal, Maylard's do it alone. Teal goes for goal. In the end, always rising over the crossbar. 90 minutes are up here at the JJB. And now playing stoppage time, which there will be 3 minutes off. Wigan could probably count themselves a little bit unfortunate not to have had 1, maybe 2 penalty decisions in the second half. Now the referee is going to have a word with the Wycombe goalkeeper Martin Taylor. And in fact, he's showed him the yellow card for time wasting. And you can't help but feel sorry for Martin Taylor. The ball quite clearly rolled out of the 6-yard box, so he had to bring it back. And the referees have judged that to have been time wasting. Ball hangs in the wind. Kennedy underneath it. McCulloch the first to react. He wins it well. He's battling away. In the end, Steve Brown brings it out of the melee. Wycombe have it with McSporran. He may let you just run it down the line. Nolan goes across to greet him, as does Peter Kennedy. And this is McSporran looking to hit the byline. Gets a great cross in. Just too far ahead of Devine. 1 or 2 of the Wycombe supporters felt there was a foul. dividing with the late challenge on John Filan. It goes out for a throw-in. This is Chris Vinicombe. Minutes to get a cross in. Hits it against, maybe it's a Divine shot. In the end, a comfortable save for John Filan. Takes it downfield, McCulloch is the target. Will do well to keep it in play. McCulloch's controlled it. Now this is Kennedy. Kennedy into McCulloch. McCulloch's not took it in his stride, but he releases Kennedy, who's onside. Kennedy, can he deliver? Oh, it's a too deep, far too deep. Just when the vital cross was required, Kennedy couldn't quite deliver. In time, Laurie Sanchez is going to make another substitution. Number 8, Keith Ryan, is coming on. He's more of a sort of defensive midfield player. And Sean Devine is going off. Ryan's first touch at the expense of a throw-in. Jackson's encouraging everyone to go forward. Jason DeVos will look to just hurl this towards the penalty area. Long throw-in. McCulloch gets a touch on. Ashcroft, can he turn? He lays it off to Dinning. Dinning with the shot. In the end, was always going well wide. Had options to his left in the shape of Kennedy, but Dinning decided to go for glory himself. The referee brings the game to an end. It's ended in a 0-0 scoreline here at the JJB Stadium. The Latics threw everything at Wycombe in the second half. Unfortunately, didn't quite get the rub of the green as they would have possibly deserved. But Laurie Sanchez, in his defence, would probably say in the last 2 meetings here at the JJB, this side have been somewhat unfortunate not to come away with anything. So he's got a point here. A hard-fought contest. Wycombe Wanderers gave a good account of themselves, never really threatened John Filan in the goal. He made one, possibly two smartish saves, but the Latics will look back to two penalty incidents involving Lee Ashcroft on the first time when he went down under a challenge, and then in the last minute or so there was a Wycombe hand quite clearly on the far post which wasn't spotted by either linesman or referee, and that would have been a clear penalty given to Latics. So it's finished here at the JJB Stadium, honours even. Wigan Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0.